Greetings everybody and welcome back to Smartwatch Tics. We have something to show you that you have already seen before. Yes indeed, we actually did a review of the prototype of this watch. And now you get to see the actual production version of the Kingwear, yes indeed, KW98. This is what you get when you order it from the store. And what are we talking about ordering it from the store? We're talking about the brand new Banggood Kingwear KW98 promotion sale going on right now. And it's a decent price to get this nice little watch from. And if you happen to be watching after August the 8th, be sure to check the show notes. We should have a buying link for you there and a coupon. And the prices are always going up and down and usually down. So keep checking back with us. What's inside of this one? Let's show you once again, just to familiarize yourself, that the KW98 is a basically 1.4 inch 400 by 400 8 gigabyte Android smartwatch. It has all of these goodies in it, the different spec features, the bands that are supported, and then the technical parameters. So we're looking at a half a gigabyte, 512 megabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes of storage, internal storage, and a 400 milliamp hour battery. Comes in this really nice package that you see right here, where the band is actually looped under itself so it could lay horizontally in the little display case. The watch itself is a brushed aluminum, this particular one with the brown cowhide type leather band. And we have one button. We have a snap-off cover on the back to put your SIM card in, the charging port, speakers on that side, microphone down here, a little cover on here we can take off that reveals the nice round screen, practically bezel-less, goes edge to edge. Inside the box now, we've got a smaller box, and in this box is the charging cable. And this is the standard one we're starting to see in the industry. A lot of watches use this one. It's a magnetically coupled charger. They finally got this technology down. It's strong, it holds well, USB, and you can get these now pretty easily. So it's always smart to order an extra one or two just to have around. In addition to that, we have a user's manual and a couple of extra screen protectors if you need them for your watch. In the user's manual, we'll run through that. And again, this is the production unit. This is what you get. This is the actual KW88. We've seen this watch by other names. We'll show you a couple of those in a little bit. But the origin is Kingwear. And Kingwear KW98, I always say 88. I slip into that. That's the original. Totally different watch, but the KW98 that you're looking at right here has this as its manual. Now, once again, these are standalone smartwatches. I know we always have some new folks, and I skip this, and they wonder why they can't connect it with their phone and make phone calls using the watch from, the SIM card in their phone. That's called the Tethering watch. And this is not that. None of these Android watches are. They're meant to be like little Android phones on your arm. So you put a SIM card in them in order to do phone calls and text messaging. Okay? There is a limited tethering capability that you can do using an app that you install in your phone that lets you connect the watch up and receive text, or receive messages and notifications basically from some of your apps. But that's totally different. These are really meant to be standalone smartwatch phones, as we call it. Okay, going to move it over to the side, going to turn it on so that you can see. Ooh, that's different. I have not seen that. Most of the times when you boot these up, you get a balloon, either a bunch of balloons flying or one big balloon or something, but that's a totally different picture. So while it's booting up, starting apps, it says, oh, I guess it's not going to take long. I thought it might be a while. Well, while it's starting, let's talk about the bands. They're really flexible, and they look like they're interchangeable. But actually, they're not. It turns out the antennas, and yes, these have lots of radios in them, and the antennas for the KW98 are in these little loops. That's what they say. And as free-flowing and easy to move as they are, the bands themselves are not removable. There's no way to take them off. And you can tell that. If they were, you'd have a little snap here, and you could like snap it apart, right? And be able to do that. Oh, I think I might even see a wire there. You see that? Something going right down the middle? That little impression looks like it might be an antenna right down there. Oh dear. Okay, well, I guess they're not just in the loops. They must go through the loop and then connect in here, because that sure looks like the pattern of an antenna. Anyway, the bottom line is you're not going to be able to take off and remove the bands. Important part. Now, this is the KW98. I want to show you the little portfolio we've got here. This was the original KW98 prototype. That was the first one I got in. And so the body hasn't changed. There may be some changes and updates to the firmware. There's also the LEF1 watch from Lympho, and then there's the Talk T1 from Makibes. They're all basically the same platform, but they originate from Kingwear. So if you're looking in the market for this kind of watch, we have reviews on all of these up there already. It goes over all the different apps and everything. Take a look at those. In the meantime, we're coming full circle from the prototype that came in way before these were even on the market. I mean, months before this was released. It's finally been released, and through a variety of different companies. And this is now the production unit that you would get if you went out and bought this from Banggood. So let's take a look at it. When we turn it on, it would come, of course, into the watch faces. And that's typically a place that changes. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning and show you the stock watch faces that come with this watch. And we haven't done anything with it, literally. I mean, I just opened it up and turned it on. Thank goodness there's a battery charge. Haven't even charged it. So haven't had a chance to put it on the internet. Okay, good, 54%. Haven't had a chance to connect it to Wi-Fi. None of that. So you're seeing it literally as it comes out of the box. A lot of these like that one we see appear on several different watches. Now, here's an interesting one with a white background to demonstrate the idea and concept of the bezel-less watch. We're still waiting for an edge-to-edge display. You can see from this one that we have a black border all the way around it, and that little black area is on all of them. There's very, very few that even get close. This is getting somewhat close, and of course, if you put a black background watch, it's not as distinctive as if you have a white one. But nonetheless, that's something that people are taking a look at, is how does it look in terms of the actual usable watch space in the 400 by 400 pixels compared to the bezel itself, or the area that it sits within. Doing pretty good on this watch with that regard. It's not edge to edge. We're not seeing the metal right up against the red and white. We're seeing a black boundary around it. And someday that may change. Now, here we go. When we're on the internet, you can press that plus button and add additional faces to it. And this little round arrow is kind of a safety thing. There's been some issues with the watches crashing or locking up sometimes when you add or take away watch faces. So this little arrow lets it automatically reset everything for the watch faces and put you back at the very first one. So those are the stock watch faces that come with it. When you go into the layout, you'll notice that it's been shifted some from the original. The original had linear display of the apps, or circular, and then these guys went to this curved method as well. So this is now updated from the prototype to the more recent firmware version of making the apps display in a curve, which is nice. It's easier to navigate and see the words of what you're looking at installed when you can twirl it like that. And what have we got? Apologies for not going into each and every one of them, but we've done that in the other videos. Today, we're going to move through them quickly. Contacts, phone, and messaging have to do with the SIM card. There's your overall settings. You have a stock browser, a calendar. We like to see whether the calendar is a plain, simple one like this, which it is. Occasionally, the calendar will be a really robust one where you can actually use it and put appointments in it, or it ties to the Google Calendar. But here we're not. The clock is basically your alarm clocks. Gallery will show pictures. There's no camera on this watch, so you're not going to have pictures in the gallery, most likely to begin with. Yeah. And swiping down or sideways, it's to the side that brings you over here. You have your onboard music, a sound recorder. Sure, let's do that. We'll test it out so you can get a feel for the volume. We're now recording on this prototype production unit Kingwear KW98 watch. Say done, say save, and it saves it, and then we look at the recording list and we play it. We're now recording on this prototype production unit Kingwear KW98 watch. Excellent. Good volume. You hear that? Usually, as you know, if you've watched this channel, you don't get a chance to hear very much at all. I mean, you can export the file and play it on your computer and enhance it, but to play it back in the watch typically is not that loud. So that's good. It's really nice and loud. File Manager is where we check what we've got on board. You see it says 5 point some odd gigabytes. That means it's an 8 gigabyte overall storage on this watch because you have to account for the operating system and firmware. When you subtract those out, that's what you get. Notice it also has the clock skin folder when you go into it, and this is where you would drop custom watch faces. And it's all set up already to do that. So the production unit is definitely loaded up with all of the new software enhancements that they've come up with. So you're safe to go out and buy yourself the production unit of the KW88 from Kingwear, knowing that it's been enhanced quite a bit. Here's your health, where you've got the pedometer and the heart rate sensor. And they look differently, but then they look the same. Okay, it's already pulsing. So we've seen some that have kind of a broken little heart in the corner. When we've seen this kind now that has this big heart pulsing in the middle. And 2 or 3 different types of layouts. What I like to do is give it a test so you get a sense for how long it takes and also the size of the numbers. This is really good. It's large. You can see it easily while you're out jogging. Maybe even see it in the bright sunlight because it's white against a dark background. It's continuous, so that's nice. It's going it didn't just like take one measurement and stop. Although usually that's a parameter that you can adjust and set. It's doing it from the tip of my finger, touching the back of it. And the minute I take it, a second I take it off, it stops. So that tells me that it is honestly and really taking the heart rate. There's been questions about that on some of the others, that you can get a heart rate off of a beer can. The higher the proof of the beer can, the lower the beat, So it's measuring something, I guess. No, just kidding. But yeah, if the heart rate goes away when you remove your capillary dilation from the watch, then you know at least it's definitely measuring something. And that looks realistic to me. So they have had major improvements in the heart rate circuitry and algorithms that work with these sensors. And then, of course, the pedometer is going to be your steps, your calories burned, and your distance. And in the settings, it lets you set up your weight, your height, the daily steps that you want as a goal, and your gender. And with all of that information, they calculate these. Calculate these, mind you, because all it's doing is measuring your steps. Okay, so that's the health. The weather's your stock weather. It's got to be on the internet in order to get it. And when it does, it reports it in centigrade and not Fahrenheit. The day that one does it in Fahrenheit as the stock weather is a day I'll do a special video for you, because every single one of them is always in centigrade. Google Voice Search, you don't even need to log into Google to be able to use it, but you do need to be on the internet. The Google Play Store, now that's the weirdest icon I've ever seen for the Play Store. It's even caused my white balance to go crazy there. They're really taking liberties, because I know Google's pretty rigid about their icon appearance, but under the chin of a happy face in the swallow zone is the Play Store. Maps, Google Maps, connect the phone. This is the QR code. If you want to scan that on your YouTube with your camera, that will direct you to the recommended app to download for this watch for doing the limited tethering that you can get. I like it having such a short timeout. It makes me keep moving, doesn't it? When you are tethered, you have remote capture, so you can use this as a trigger button to take a picture with your phone. Remote music you can play, find your device, and then you can switch from iOS to Android, whichever type of phone that you have, that's what you would do. And switch, the platform requires you to restart the watch because you have different capabilities that will or will not show up here in the app list. So that's an overall look at the apps. And of course, the way the watch overall works is you start in your home screen, we'll call it your watch face. When you swipe down, you get three little dots at the bottom. The first thing shows you your power and date. You swipe to the right, you get this screen where you can go into silent mode or have your audio turned on quickly. You can tap this, which is a turn your wrist to show the time. Airplane mode, cellular, and location data. Don't need that because that's going to eat up a lot of battery. If you don't need your location, if you're not using GPS or maps, turn that off. And the cellular data will only work if you've got a SIM card that supports that in here. You have low, which is really low. That's nice. And you can, whoops, I turned Bluetooth on. Middle, and then high. And of course, the camera is correcting for all of the brightness, so you're not seeing the real range. What you do see when it's really bright is the words and everything start to wash out. So it does have a very high range. Mid is just perfect for working indoors. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are here. And then there's your pedometer reading information. You don't actually control it from here. You have to go to the health app to set that all up. But you can quickly swipe over and see how many steps you've walked in a day. And it resets at midnight, and so, every day is a different day. That's what happens when you swipe down. When you swipe up, you get your weather in your local area and a forecast as well. When you swipe to the left, you get notifications if you have it tethered and have any sent to the watch, or if it's doing it internally, like updating apps and things like that from the Google Play Store. It'll report those here. When you swipe to the right, we got to our whole scrolling list of applications. And when you swipe over one more, you get to your music player, which is different on all the different watches. The one thing they do is have different creative backgrounds. You're able to adjust the volume right here, which is nice. And you can play, if there were anything in the watch, it would play it. You can go back or forward and skip songs. And that, folks, is the whole layout for the production version of the Kingwear KW98 smartwatch. Oh, one last thing. What happens when you twist your wrist to look at the time on these different models? The new production KW98 and the Talk T1 show you your chosen watch face. My old prototype and the Lympho LEF1 show you the old digital time display. That's a difference. Yeah, and in case you forgot from the very beginning, you can pick it up right now from our sponsor Banggood, who sent this out so that we could show it to you so that they could get some sales and let you know about their nice promotion sale that they have going on right now. Check the show notes, check the buying link, click on it, helps them out, helps us out, and get yourself a really nice watch, the Kingwear KW98. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. I think we're getting these shorter, folks. Everybody likes that. Under 20 minutes. Yay! We'll see you again soon.